Recording within our podcasting app is relatively straightforward. You do have to go through, I think, one or two screens. So let's go through that here and you can follow along. So, in recording our podcast, we want to go into the application and click on the plus sign here. Once we click on the plus sign, it brings us to this screen where we can then follow the instructions that says tap here to start recording. And this is really all we have to do to start recording our podcast. By simply using our voice and a combination of adding music and interludes, we can create a professional podcast that is engaging and compelling. So let's click on this sign here. This is our podcast. And in this podcast, we are talking about how to create a podcast. Haha. Now, as you see, as you're recording, it shows you the time. It also gives you the ability to add a flag in case you want to go back in the future and make edits. This just adds a marker to that particular point in time. It gives you the recording label on top with the red intermittent sign that's coming in and out. Again, just telling you that it's recording. And then when you're done with this particular section, you can then click stop. And then from here, you can add additional amenities to your voice. You can add background music by simply clicking on the background music option. And it gives you a whole host of options actually, that allows you to add any type of music depending on your style, on your feel, or on your mood. You can test it out before you actually add it by clicking on this play sign. It will load that particular track, which sometimes takes a minute or two, and then it will play it. And then if you like it, all you have to do is click on this plus sign here, and it will add an overlay of the music to your voice. When all said and done, you can choose to either save or trim if you want to trim some aspects of your podcast. Now you see within this application, you have the capability to make changes and edit in terms of trimming your audio. This is where we had added the flag. So if we want to trim it from there, we can simply do that. If we want to stop the podcast there, we simply move the end to where the flag is. We can also adjust the start points. So as you can see, many varied ways for you to configure your podcasts. Let's go back and let's click save. And once we go to the save screen, it gives us the option to enter a name for this particular episode. With that done, we can then click add recording to episode. And that's that. We just recorded our podcast.